Awake TV. So today, Sue and I want to talk about loneliness and the connection. So I read this book today and it talked about this is a particularly American culture. You know, I wasn't really aware of this, but we are connecting other people based on what in it for me. That's including the relationship. So the connection is transactional instead of really connecting with other people for the sake of connecting, like heart to heart. And what we are experiencing lately, after COVID and everything, a lot of people I hear are feeling loneliness and they're not connecting with other people. So I would like to ask to jump into this topic and see what we can do to improve our way of connecting with other people, so we can further ourselves for ascension process. So what is your point of view on this, Sue?
Okay. I'll just start talking with my week that I just spent in Florida. I'm in the car. We're traveling home now to New York. But we had a less than on the level real estate agent. And I ended up calling some people for inspections on this one house that we thought we were going to put a contract on. And this inspector right away got back to me and told me how there was some initial preliminary things that he could find out before doing the inspection that were wrong with the house, that were big. They were big. And so we just pulled right out of the transaction. We weren't even going to offer a contract. And I start with this because it snowballed from there. I thanked him profusely and I told him that, because he didn't need to tell me what he told me. He could have just taken my money, gone and done the inspection, and then told me later. But he's like, I think you should be aware that these issues were reported about this house this year, and this happened, and blah, 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 which were not, which they should have been legally reported in the listing of the house, and they were not. So he did us a solid. So I told him how much I did that, and I said, I don't care if your price is higher than anybody else's. I just because of your integrity, you are going to be my inspector no matter what house we decide to put a contract on. So there was a building of a relationship there, and it was because of his integrity, and he had my allegiance because of that. It's meeting with him a few hours on the inspection on what we went for. Now, the reason I bring this up to you guys, it sounds a little boring, but when we behave with integrity, let people know, total strangers know that I'm not doing this as a transaction. I'm doing this out of the courtesy as a human being, how I would want to be treated if it was me in your shoes. That built trust like right away. And as it turns out, this fella is going to end up giving us connections to other people that do work that we need on the house. Not a big deal, but we're going to need other contracts in the future. He even recommended a paint shop that he knows the guy, he's going to give us a discount, so on and so forth. This guy is going to come to our house once we're settled with his wife, and they're going to have dinner with us. We're going to host that. And awesome. You never know, we may build a couple of friends for life. You just don't know. But I mean, so what I want to say to everybody today is take the time when someone goes out of their way to do something for you, or like our hotel staff were amazing. They were just awesome people. And we would just sit and have conversations with them. We were super, super busy, but we had 10 minutes to stop and joke around about things or talk to them about their personal things because they just wanted to talk to us. It's 10 minutes out of my day. I have 10 minutes. And it was wonderful. It was just, they made our stay so much easier. They recommend places for us to go during our downtime, which we enjoyed tremendously. Sometimes just a smile to another person, when even if they're not smiling at you, you know, our society in America, people stop smiling at each other. I mean, it seems like saying hi is weird. I don't care if hi is weird. I'll say hi. And even if it isn't responded back to me, at least I know I gave that person a little bit of love in that second that I took to say hi. And in several instances, I had people who were like frowning or just not paying any attention. And I stopped and I said hi or good morning, those kind of things. They smiled right away and they started talking to me. And so again, little 10-minute conversations, whatever, 10 minutes less, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. But it made my day better. It made their day better. And guess what? You end up feeling less lonely.
Yeah.
Because we start building connections with human beings that are good, even if it's momentarily. But now what am I going to do? I'm going to turn around and I'm going to give that hotel a great review. I know the staff's name. I wrote it down. I'm going to give them reviews. And guess what? The people that work in the breakfast area, they'll get little, what do you call that? They're going to get little bonuses because I gave them an awesome review. And that makes me really, really happy. And it makes me feel more connected to people. These are just people that a lot of others will just ignore or they take for granted. Don't do it. Don't take it for granted. Take that time to do that review. Take that time to say good morning, because your world opens up when people recognize you as a person who is open to being social. That gives them a gift and it gives you a gift. So what's your take on all this?
Well, I remember like when I was at Virginia for job, it was really interesting because people do say hello to each other, even though they don't know you, right? So, which was extremely different from New York, because like,
Yeah.
you know, we are taught, especially in New York City, we are taught not to talk with stranger because you never know what kind of ulterior motive this person is having, even though this person seems to be acting friendly to you, right? So that's something
Yeah.
I have learned, you know, very first thing when I moved to America, right? And that's kind of ingrained within me. So I was really surprised, like, hey, people smiling and saying hello to each other. And like you said, I was saying hello back to them. I was thinking, wow, it's so nice. And then my business partner at that time was saying, like, hey, it's South. So that's how people are treating with each other. And then I thought that was really, really nice custom to do that, because it takes certain part of the lower vibration away from you, and then you are connected with the other person in the human level. And I was like, hey, that's really nice. Yeah. So what you're saying is really good, because like one of the dating technique, like I learned for a long time ago, was to have an eye contact with someone when you like, whoever you think is cute, and you don't know this person. So you do have an eye contact with this person and smile at this person until he notices. And then you look away.
Yeah.
So it's a sign, right? To let him know I like you. And then I was thinking, wow, that's proactive. And then you are connecting, and then you're letting him know you can make a move, you know? So yeah. It's not a passive. So I thought this is a great way. But like what I have noticed during the COVID, especially, believe it or not, like New York, you do meet a stranger in subway. I know a couple of girlfriends met their future boyfriend in the subway or at the subway platform because they started to have a conversation. So it's not like people don't talk with each other. But what I noticed after COVID, because everybody is wearing stupid masks, and then you don't really see whole facial expression, it's just your eyes, and then people not really looking at each other anymore, and then you don't have that kind of social interaction between strangers anymore. You know, I one thing I really liked about New York was some people are not afraid of expressing their opinion about you. Like if you look good, guy's gonna come up to you and say you look hot, you know. Nothing wrong with that. It's nice to hear stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And they do that, but you don't hear anything like that after COVID.
You know, the eyes are the portal to the soul. I think that's true. And then if you go the next step, and you know, so for me, being an extreme empath, I have at times, you know, I can tell right away when somebody's making eye contact with me what their intentions are. I can feel it, you know, so I can feel right away if their intentions are nefarious, and I just look away and I walk away. But on the other hand, just making that little bit of eye contact speaks volumes, as you said, because it gives a signal that you're open to talking. And in the end, who's it going to hurt if you say hi to somebody, or you start telling somebody that they have a beautiful outfit on, or that color is really good on you?
I see it all the time when
I do it all the time.
Lady,
yeah,
like on the street.
Or somebody's got gorgeous hair, or you know, whatever it is. Well, who's it going to hurt if you make that statement and they don't respond? You just go,
usually happy.
You just go, okay, guess they don't want to talk. I mean, you don't have to say it out loud, but you just go, okay, you know, it doesn't take away anything from you.
Yeah.
So why not be a little bit more bold, especially if you're lonely. I don't experience loneliness because I can talk to anybody. And you know, even having been in the military, I really now can talk to anybody, because I mean, there just is hardly a story I haven't heard, or a culture I haven't rubbed elbows with. And I feel pretty okay with talking to people, you know, because I'm a respectful person, and I really don't have to worry about PC, because I'm not an offensive person. I always have good intentions. But really, I think the biggest thing I can say to folks is, take a chance if you're feeling lonely, and just talk to somebody. Or if you're in the grocery store and you're seeing that the cashier's having a bad day, or maybe, you know, the person in front of you was rude to them or something, you know, just kind of say, hey, I hope you have a better day. And, you know, thanks for what you did for me here. And like, I've even complimented ladies on or guys, how they packed my bags, because I bring my own bags, and they didn't put my milk on top of my eggs, or they packed them really well so that, you know, I use less bags. Whatever, you can find a way to compliment people if you just pay attention to your surrounding, and or even just a simple thank you. I appreciate what you did. I hope you have a really nice day. It takes no time to do. You're gonna walk away anyway. Why not just do it? Because that person, you may have just made their day. And the law of energy is that what you put out in the universe is also you.
Yeah.
So if you take that couple of seconds, or you're in traffic and you let somebody in front of you, that's going to come back to you. Maybe not right away, maybe tomorrow, maybe 2 weeks from now. But when you really need to get into traffic, the fact that you let somebody else in when they needed to get in, there's going to be an opportunity for you to get into traffic. Those kind of things are energetic, universal things. We can't separate our behavior from what other people's behavior are. And now I may encounter somebody that's having a very, very difficult day. I can either be kind and compassionate and understand that I have no idea what happened in their day, either an action, but with them, and I'm going to have a worse encounter if I add fuel to that fire. But if I deal with that person either by walking away, or, you know, just saying, okay, you know, I know things are a little goofed up right now. Let's figure it out. Let's see what we can do to make it better. So we have choices. Every minute of the day, we have choices. Are we going to isolate ourselves? Are we going to listen to the hubbub out there that says, oh gosh, everybody around you is dangerous? Are we living in fear? I mean, we've talked about this so many times. I choose not to live in fear, and my life is pretty good. I enjoy my days. I have very few days where I feel lonely. I mean, I never feel lonely, even when I'm by myself. And I like my personal time, you know. But it's because I know. Go ahead.
Especially people who are spiritual, you know, we do understand we're surrounded by our guide and higher self. So we are really not by ourselves. So no. We want to keep it short for this episode. So do you have any like a big tip for our viewers, Sue? How we can start connecting with other people more authentically?
Yeah, just put yourself out there. It doesn't take anything away from you if somebody ignores you, but you never know. You might meet a really great friend, or you might just make somebody's day. You might make your own day. They may say something back to you that really is a great piece of information to help you in your future, or just make you feel good, or just they shared a smile with you and that made your day brighter. So just go for it.
Yeah, and then some people, you know, might be feeling social anxiety, you know. So I do understand that not everybody can be social like me or Sue. So you don't have to start talking and sharing everything what's on your mind. You know, you can start doing something small, like start having eye contact with other people, just smile. And then if you don't have enough courage to say anything, you can just smile at that stranger, and then you can start going from there until you get used to it. You feel comfortable with smiling at the stranger, and then you can move on to say hi or good morning. Then you don't really have to say anything else. After that, you feel blank, right? So yeah, each one of us can start doing whatever we can do with our capacity to connect with other people. And then my guide is always saying we are never alone because they are with us, you know. And the more spiritual we get, we started to feel this fact, so we don't really feel lonely anymore. But when we want to connect with physical, you know, physically with other humans, we can start doing all these steps Sue talked about and I talked about on your own comfortable level. And then this will create a more positive vibration, and then having real connectivity with each people, not the superficial. And then we started feeling less lonely. And that's really important, especially time like this, for us to start taking an action.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for watching. And next week, Sue and I are going to share more topic, and then we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.